Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Monema number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm special, north specials, sherry specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it also can meet the Chihuahua, Monema number 3.
Star Insurance Group of Opelika, Auburn, Montgomery, and Greenville. With all of life's demands, buying insurance is probably low on your list. Luckily, there's someone who's looking out for you and putting your needs first. A trusted friend is right around the corner. The team at Star Insurance can provide you with great protection with a personal touch. When it comes to understanding your needs, you want someone who can listen with understanding and care. You want professional advice with a personal experience? Whether it's business, farm, home, or auto, their team can help. They're not just agents, they're members of the community. Newman's Farm Supply, located downtown on the square in Lafayette. Contact them at 334-864-7006. Family owned and operated since 2011, Newman's carries feed for all of your animals: Tucker Milling, Sports Mix, Value Pack, along with deer feed, corn, hay rolls, alfalfa bales, pine and wheat straw. Newman's is also an FFL dealer. Newman's also reminds everyone to get their CA gun raffle tickets. Raffle starts November 1st. Isaac Horton, proud supporter of Chambers Academy, would like to thank you for your support in the coming election. Go Rebels! State Farm agent Mike Spears is your local and trusted insurance agent. Contact Mike Spears at 334-864-8772 for all of your insurance needs, home, auto, life, and more. You can also stop by Mike's office and see him at 401 South Lafayette Street, Lafayette, Alabama, on the 4-lane. State Farm agent Mike Spear, proud supporter of Rebel Athletics. Go Rebels!
Hey Rebel fans, Pastor Dave here from Lafayette Heights Baptist Church. We're excited again to be partnering with Chambers Academy and the Rebel football team for the 24 football season this year. At Lafayette Heights, we exist to be a biblically faithful, gospel-centered fellowship of disciple-making disciples. And if you don't have a local church, we would invite you to come to Lafayette Heights and find a place where you could be encouraged spiritually and a place where your whole family could be loved and cared for. Go Rebels!
Lafayette True Value, located on the Highway 50 bypass in Lafayette, is the only resource for your home improvement projects. Behind every project is a true value. James Allen and his staff proudly support the Chambers Academy Rebels. And James Allen thanks you for shopping local. Shepherd Homeworks, established in 2004, headquartered in beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, serving East Alabama, Lake Martin, and West Georgia. At Shepherd Homeworks, we specialize in custom cabinets and millwork built in our very own cabinet shop. Contact Stephen Shepherd at 334-234-1180 to make your dreams become reality. And go Rebels! DTA, Daniel Towing and Automotive. Need a tow? Need some mechanical work? Contact Lee and Sandy Daniel at 334-863-4252. Serving East Alabama and West Georgia. You call, we haul. DTA, Daniel Towing and Automotive. Proud supporters of Rebel Athletics. DTA Towing. State Farm agent Mike Spears is your local and trusted insurance agent. Contact Mike Spears at 334-864-8772 for all of your insurance needs, home, auto, life, and more. You can also stop by Mike's office and see him at 401 South Lafayette Street, Lafayette, Alabama, on the 4-lane. State Farm agent Mike Spear, proud supporter of Rebel Athletics. Go Rebels!
Hey, Rebel fans, Pastor Dave here from Lafayette Heights Baptist Church. We're excited again to be partnering with Chambers Academy and the Rebel football team for the 24 football season this year. At Lafayette Heights, we exist to be a biblically faithful, gospel-centered fellowship of disciple-making disciples. And if you don't have a local church, we would invite you to come to Lafayette Heights and find a place where you could be encouraged spiritually and a place where your whole family could be loved and cared for. Go Rebels!
Lafayette True Value, located on the Highway 50 bypass in Lafayette, is the only resource for your home improvement projects. Behind every project is a True Value. James Allen and his staff proudly support the Chambers Academy Rebels. And James Allen thanks you for shopping local. Shepherd Homeworks, established in 2004, headquartered in beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, serving East Alabama, Lake Martin, and West Georgia. At Shepherd Homeworks, we specialize in custom cabinets and millwork built in our very own cabinet shop. Contact Stephen Shepherd at 334-234-1180 to make your dreams become reality. And go Rebels! DTA, Daniel Towing and Automotive. Need a tow? Need some mechanical work? Contact Lee and Sandy Daniel at 334-863-4252. Serving East Alabama and West Georgia. You call, we haul. DTA, Daniel Towing and Automotive. Proud supporters of Rebel Athletics. DTA Towing. Newman's Farm Supply, located downtown on the square in Lafayette. Contact them at 334-864-7006. Family owned and operated since 2011, Newman's carries feed for all of your animals. Tucker Milling, Sports Mix, Value Pack, along with deer feed, corn, hay rolls, alfalfa bales, pine and wheat straw. Newman's is also an FFL dealer. Newman's also reminds everyone to get their CA gun raffle tickets. Raffle starts November 1st.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show with Coach Jason Allen. We are sponsored by Farmers and Merchants Bank, and we are hosted by Monte Alban 3 on the north side of Lafayette, and we want to thank Roxana and Luis for being such great hosts to us and our crew. And tonight we have Dave behind the board there running and directing this show. And as always, my partner Chester Carter is here. Chet, it's great to see you. Great to have you here.
Sid, it's great to be here. And it's a Tuesday night at Monte Alban, Taco Tuesday. Come out and hang out with some folks and have some good food and some fellowship about some Chambers Academy football.
And we're back. I mean, we didn't have a show, I guess, last week, and it's a little bit early in the week, but it is good to be back and good to be talking about another big win by our Chambers Academy Rebels.
Yep, and preparing for round 2 of the playoffs here as we would get to welcome a team we've never played before, the Monroe Academy Volunteers.
When you were telling me that earlier, David and I were both racking our brains, so we didn't remember from either of the generations, and I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I said to you, back in the day when we first got started playing football here, Monroe was dominant. And I know you've got some stuff to talk about that, but they really were the name team in AISA forever.
Yeah. As far as I can recall, they've been 3A ever since I can go think back. So that's where we probably never had to run into each other being single A and 2A over the years.
I think you're probably right. That's probably why, and you know, it's like I don't even remember when the classifications first started. Whereas we've been 1A, 2A, and now 3A. I think you're right. I think they probably were always a 3A team.
Yeah, hey, before we get into that game too much, we need to go back and highlight some of the great matchups and plays that would happen last Thursday night as we hosted the Gators from Clark Prep.
I agree.
As we recall, 2 years ago, they came up here and were the spoilers for that team in the round 2. We thought they may have had something up their sleeve, but the Rebel coaches and players came out and took care of business early.
The game was just a little bit different for several games, maybe 3 or 4 in a row. We have received the kickoff and scored 3 quick touchdowns, back-to-back 2-point conversions, and then a PAT attempt. And it was just flipped because we kicked the ball, received it in the second half, but then went right back out and scored 3 touchdowns. So some similarities, just a little different twist on the start.
Yeah, quick start on both sides of the ball on defense. The Rebels forced the Gators out quick on a 3-and-out. Got the ball and then just drove the field quickly to set the stage early.
Well, you know, one of the things that I remember is a long pass downfield that hit a receiver in the hands and got dropped. And, you know, it just kind of snowballed from there because the line of scrimmage was never – I don't believe the line of scrimmage was in doubt on either side of the ball after the first series on offense and defense. Our guys just did a fantastic job of making great blocks and, you know, sustained blocks and just doing everything that you want that offensive line to do. And, you know, that stable of running backs, they know how to carry the football.
Yeah, if you like watching a high school football game that just focuses totally on the rush, this was your game here.
Yeah.
So you had some, you know, we'll just name off some of the running backs. You know, Luke Tarver had a great game, Jacob Norgard, TJ Daniel, Landon Hand at quarterback. You know, Jack Nelms got into the action. Yep. Kobe Watley late in the was it third quarter he got in the action. And even Trey Tigner got some action late in the game. And it's great to see that youth coming up through the ranks here at Chambers.
Well, you know, we're talking with Coach Friday night doing the post-game interviews, and I mentioned to him, you know, how that group of running backs, you just see the same traits, Chet. You know, you see those guys find that hole and know what to do. And, you know, they make a great cut. They get it to the edge. And, boy, it's just really good to see that depth of running back. And you know that downstream the same things are being taught and the same things are being received by our athletes.
Yeah, it's a great recipe, and they're just going to, like you say, rinse and repeat each year with those running backs.
Absolutely true.
Hey, the Rebels improved their record overall for the year, 10-1, and with that win over Clark Prep, the 53-13 victory was just massive. I mean, the great crowd at Torbert Allen Field, great atmosphere. You know, the game was pushed up again quick, you know, to Thursday. Right. But everybody handled that, you know, very nicely.
Sure.
Got to give props to all the people who set up for the game, you know, run the gates and everything. Everything was smooth as could be.
Well, it's a flawless night as we have just kind of come to expect. You know, I mean, everything gets done. That facility is always gorgeous. And, you know, you see that same group out there making sure it's done right. So, another really great night, even though it was a Thursday night, and it was kind of unusual to have a Friday night off, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I was kind of lost what to do Friday evening, so I heard there was a pretty good game on, though, in the other region that you guys got to watch.
I did watch that one, just so you know.
So, and that's right, the Rebels are going to host the 9-2 Monroe Academy Volunteers Thursday at 7 o'clock at Torbert Allen Field. The 2 losses that Monroe had during the year were at the hands of the region foe Fort Dale Eagles. That was probably about midway through the season. And then the last game of the season, they lost to 2A South Choctaw. And then Monroe beat Banks last week 44-36 to get the berth into the second round and a nice ticket up here to Lafayette.
Well, it's interesting. We did watch that game from start to finish, followed that broadcast live. And I know we're going to talk more about that a little bit more in depth later on. But it was an interesting ball game on both sides of the field. I think both teams played well. It was very competitive. And, you know, Banks driving to try to win the game late, so it was a very exciting ball game. We'll just have to get our guys, and I think we will have our guys ready to play this second-round playoff game because we're one game away from playing for a second consecutive state championship.
That's right. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves, though, because the Monroe Volunteers bring a different kind of brand of football of what we've seen the past couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
This is a much stronger defense. than the Rebels have been up against so far. They're only giving up 15 points on average a game. So a lot different compared to some of their last competition to the into the regular season and here in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, and the other thing, too, is, Chet, in watching that game, there's not a lot of spread the field. You know, they're going to bunch people inside. They're going to try to block you straight up. And I think that's a pretty tall task against this defensive line. And they're going to try to jam that ball. They go into that power eye at time. They're going to try to force that ball up the middle. And as Luke was telling us earlier, a little toss sweep occasionally. They don't throw it very much, but we'll just see how the two rush games work out on Thursday night, because I think that's what we're going to see, unless one or the other team decides to maybe change it up a little bit and throw the ball a little bit.
You never can tell because, hey, loser goes home. So
Season's
everything's
over.
on the line, so you never know which some of these coaches are going to bring out of their
That's right.
bag of tricks there. So should be a great game Thursday night, Torbert Allen Field. Come out, support these guys.
Absolutely.
And make that place rock like we always do.
And, folks, we'll just take a moment here and we'll talk about tonight. We're going to review, the game action also with some stats, because Chet does such a good job of his recap and bringing those stats to the players. And I really appreciate that, because it is very, very tough for us as broadcasters to pick players. We could just name everybody on the team, basically on the field, and players just do such an outstanding job. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that. And tonight we do have a special guest. We have senior running back and linebacker Luke Tarver. He's going to join us in segment 2, and we're just going to sit down and talk to Luke about his career and what's going on for the rest of the year. Get some of his insights. Then we'll talk to Coach Nesmith and Coach Allen. Coach Jackson cannot be here tonight. He is actually working, so he won't join us, but we'll go from there.
Yeah, hey, great action going on here. So we're going to go ahead and take a break here and come back with some stats from the Clark Prep game. We'll be back in a second.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farmer specials, north specials, sherry specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it also can meet the Chihuahua, Moneman number 3.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show. In this segment, we're going to give you a little highlights of what happened back with the Clark Prep game last Thursday. And Dave's going to show you the bracket coming up here for round 2, showing where Chambers beat Clark Prep and Monroe advanced to the second round as well. And you're also going to see the other West region bracket as well and see who's up to play us possibly in the championship game if we get through tomorrow.
Yeah.
So real quick, the Chambers Academy won the Clark Prep game 53-13, and like we were talking about in the opening, said the Rebels jumped out early, strong, and just out of the gate real quick. The defense shut down the Gators quite quickly, took over the ball after a 3-and-out, and 30-yard touchdown run by Luke Tarver started the scoring early in the first. The next series, Rebel defense stood tall. On a 3rd and 1 and then a 4th and 2, Luke Tarver came up and made 2 great defensive plays to stop that drive. And the Rebels took over deep in the Gator territory.
And, Chet, if we just go back to that game, I think the Abbeville game and last week as well, we saw these guys come out just absolutely incredibly aggressive, probably the most dominating quick start that I can remember us having in a long time. And I know a couple weeks ago you talked about how last year it was sometimes the offense would take a series to get warmed up and kind of get going. That has just not been the case this year at all. This offense hits the field ready to go and scores usually very quick.
Yeah, they're on fire coming out of the gate, and as we saw that, hey, it didn't matter if we got the ball first or not.
Right.
You know, those guys are ready to play. On that second series was a carbon copy of the first series. It was a two-play drive capped off by a 32-yard touchdown run from quarterback Landon Hand. Set the score at 16-0. The Rebels defense holds and forces another punt and takes over on their own 25. That was probably the worst field position the Rebels had all night. The Rebels drove 75 yards and scored on a 26-yard touchdown run by Luke Tarver. Second quarter just brought more of the same thing. After a punt, Chambers got the ball near midfield. A touchdown pitch and cash between Landon and Cameron Gooden got called back for a motion penalty. And 2 plays later, though, Luke Tarver broke a 58-yard touchdown run, and it was assisted by a great block by Gooden over there on the corner to spring Luke.
Let's talk about that for a second, because we saw that multiple times. We have seen our guards do a great job of getting out in front of this group of running backs. You know, if you think about Cameron having that call back because he's got to be a little bit down. He came right back, chest, and sustained the block on the side. 10 yards, just absolutely not give up on Vendor. Open the sideline up and just turns on. So that just says this football team has great football intelligence. They have that commitment, making play correctly. And I just love seeing it. We saw it not just we see it almost every night that we have a game. We see great downfield blocking. I just think that's something that shows a lot of by these guys.
Absolutely. There's only one bright spot in the first half for the Gators. On a 3rd and 2, they broke a 51-yard touchdown run to get on the board, and it set the score at 28-6. But that was the only light they had there in the first half at all. First play from the next series, Landon Hand took a 76-yard touchdown run with the help of a massive block from Colton Fuller on the far sidelines down in the Gator secondary to secure that 76-yard touchdown run. Amazing run and an amazing block.
Well, again, just right back to that same subject, we've got a guy outside who makes a great block, opens up the entire sideline, takes the only guy really on the play out. So Colton and Cameron are 2 examples of just, the commitment and just getting after it, not following the play, not giving up on the play, not watching. And, of course, Landon, I think that's a play where he made about 3 moves on the inside, probably cut it back and just turned on the Jets. And
there was a penalty on the play, and I thought it was coming back for a
holding.
holding.
We thought it was a holding, and it was against
a chop block against Clark Prep. So that set the score at 34-6 CA. And then another 3 and out for the Gators, and then Chambers gets the ball back, and T.J. Daniel rips a 36-yard touchdown run to extend the lead out 40-6 there at halftime. Second half, brought 2 more touchdowns for the Rebels, one by Kobe Watley and then one by Hunter Andrews. So diving into some of these stats here, like I said earlier, if you love high school football rushing, 600 total yards of rushing, 0 turnovers, and these numbers are quite impressive.
Well, Chet, one of the things that I think bears mentioning, especially to our audience, just if they're not seeing these games live, our starters are just not participating in most of the second halves of our game. And you see Luke with the yards that he's compiled this year, and Jacob and TJ and everyone else. It's really a half of football. And, man, I'll tell you, these numbers are just gaudy. So we got 2s and 3s coming on the field and breaking off big plays and piled up more yardage.
Absolutely. Luke Tarver led the rushing attack, 7 carries, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns. A little quick math there. That's 25 yards every time he touched the ball.
Yeah, that seems good.
Yeah, I'll take that any
number.
day. Yeah, and he also had 2 two-point conversions. Landon Hand had 3 carries for 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. 39 yards a touch for Landon. Incredible numbers there. Jacob Norgard, 3 carries, 60 yards. Hunter Andrews, 2 carries, 74 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jack Nelms, 3 carries, 41 yards, and then Kobe Watley had 1 carry for 18 yards and 1 touchdown. So
and we
quite
saw
impressive.
Not only just the impressiveness of the yardage and the runs, we saw an incredible stiff arm. We also saw Jack Nels put the head down and just pile through. It looked like Luke was back out on the field just running through people. And then we saw Kobe just get outside and turn that jet on, man. It's just really great to see these guys getting the same kind of blocking and converting these plays and making big scores.
Yeah, the Rebel defense just limited the Gators on all big plays except for that 152-yard touchdown run. You know, and we talk about that all the time. Coaches are always trying to eliminate the big play, and that Gator defense had no answer for that rushing attack of the Rebels.
No, not at all.
On the defensive side of the ball, Colton Fuller led the defense with 4 tackles. Bryson Modeling, 4 tackles, 3 pass breakups. Hunter Andrews, 4 tackles. Gabe Bridges, 3 tackles, 2 sacks. Luke Tarver, 3 tackles. TJ Daniel, 3 tackles. Drew Shepard, 3 tackles. Jacob Bradley, 3 tackles.
Okay, 3 tackles. We got it.
Everybody's getting in the action. Tucker Thrower, 2 tackles, 1 sack. Tyler Popwell, 1 tackle, 1 sack.
Wow.
AJ Knowles, 2 tackles. Cameron Moore and Hunter Phillips, 2 tackles as well. So quite a hefty stat sheet there.
But that's just incredible because if you look at the spread, I think you and I just counted, it was 36 plays. That was 36 actual tackles. When we're watching the game, you literally have to wait until the last guy gets up. And folks, we're going to miss some of them. There's just this pile of blue jerseys, and sometimes you pick the wrong guy. A guy may have gotten up quick and moved away. We do our best to get that. But one thing you can take to heart is the Chambers Academy defense is going to bring it, and they're going to bring it to anybody who steps on our field, and we're going to bring it when we step on their field. This defense, man, is wide open and playing awfully good football.
Yep, and also want to make notion here, we got a note from Coach. This is not a complete list. This is all we know of so far. A couple guys got an invite to the Rising Stars game. That's your 9th and 10th graders, Colton Fuller and A.J. Knowles. Congratulations to those
guys. That's awesome.
And 6 players from the Rebel team got invited to the All-American game. That's your 11th and 12th graders, Eli Wharton, Drew Shepard, Jacob Bradley, Spencer Newman, Aiden Anglin, and T.J. Daniels. So congratulations to those guys. There may be more added. We don't know that for sure, but just wanted to make sure we acknowledge those players on a nice accomplishment there.
I'll tell you, that's just fantastic. And, you know, this team, those individual guys deserve that, and I am really so happy for all of them across the board. And, look, we'll move into what has turned out to become a real challenging part of our season, and that's trying to get, the home interviews done, and then when we're away, name the players. So here's what we decided to do last Thursday night. We felt like the offensive player of the game was Luke Tarver. We met with Luke and interviewed him Friday night, and congratulations, Luke, again to the offensive player of the game. Our defensive player of the game was Gabriel Bridges. Had a great game, played really well. It was fun sitting down with Gabe and just talking to him in the interview. So to Luke and Gabriel, nice job, fellas, and we appreciate the hard work. And that leaves us with the Impact Player of the Week. So we'll just go on and get those out of the way as well. And once again, it's not just an impact player, it's impact players. Our impact players of last Thursday night's game are Cameron Gooden and Colton Fuller. So congratulations, guys. Outstanding work. We really love watching you guys play football. Great job.
Yeah, great work, guys. And some of the plays that they made, we don't get a lot of, sometimes we do miss them, some of those key blocks that they make. And congratulations to those guys for being team players there and helping that rushing attack expand.
It was a great night by both sides of the ball, but we just made our calls on those, and that's what we'll do.
Yep. Hey, at this time, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors, especially Farmers and Merchants, for sponsoring the show. And Monty Albin here, they do such a great job of hosting us. Great food, great time here. It doesn't have to be a coach's show to come hang out here. You can do anything. You come up here, 6 days a week and hang out.
Very true.
Good time hanging out up here. The Blue Button down in Lafayette, they just had a rebranding down there. They made these hats here, and we want to thank Adie for all the help she does with all of our wear here.
And if you need something special, you can go in just like I did, walk in off the street not knowing what to do or how to do it. Adie just walked me through it, and we have hats a couple days later.
That's great. And also thanks to Tapney Nelson for all the photographs she takes around here, catching all of the action at Chambers Academy. 2-3 Collective for these shirts and this banners behind us here. They do a wonderful job. And also, we want to remind you to go and check out our YouTube page. Go and check out the shorts. We've had somebody working on those, and each week we're getting some more in there. So go in there and check those out, like them, and share them with your friends.
Not only just someone, but our number 2 director, Kent Nelson, is doing an outstanding job on the shorts.
Yeah, thank you, Kent, for all the work you're putting into that piece. So, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with our senior running back, Luke Tarver.
Okay, Luke. Folks, welcome back. We are here with our special guest tonight. We have a little bit of a senior spotlight. Luke Tarver is here with me tonight. Luke, your fan club is here, showed up tonight.
They are.
Well, Luke, we spent some time together Friday night in the post-game interview, and we felt like it would be a really good idea to get you back, let you be a senior spokesman. And I just want to throw this out here before you and I get going. I want to recognize all of our seniors. Of course, we have Luke, we have Jacob Norgard, Tyler Popwell, Jesse Barton, TJ Daniel, Jonathan Caulfield, and Aiden Anglin. That's our 7 seniors for this year, and folks, they are an outstanding group. We love every one of them, and these guys do a great job. Luke, when we sit down and we're talking to you, the thing I was thinking about today, you're a 3rd-generation athlete at Chambers Academy. You probably know I played with your grandfather here. We are that old, and we were on the first teams. I know your dad played here, and now you. Do you ever think about that? Do you ever think about how long we've been playing football here at Chambers Academy?
It's been a long time.
I
think Coach Allen said 55 years.
I think it's 54, but that's 54. Close enough. So, we're one of the very early programs. There are only a few that started maybe a year or two earlier than we did. And it's just a great tradition. And I'm glad that you have established, continued a legacy of really good players here. I know playing with your granddad, he was a great player. I didn't get to see your father play, and it's certainly good to see you play. The other thing I wanted to just talk to you about was your perspective. Probably since, 5th or 6th grade?
I think so.
A lot of years.
A
lot of years. And Thursday night will be your last home game on Torbert Allen Field. Have you thought about that? Does it come to your mind?
Not yet. Maybe Thursday night it will. But
well, I can tell you probably when you're 10 years removed, you'll think about it an awful lot. But that's fine. I don't think you have to worry about it right now. I think it's important, though, that, you and this group of seniors understands the legacy that you have made. This team has a real shot to take care of business Thursday night and get us in a real good position to go for another title.
We do. We have a good shot.
When you go through practice this week, has there been any kind of a special vibe or anything going on out of the ordinary with your seniors or with this team?
Yeah, we've been real excited this week. I mean, you can tell everybody's ready to play.
Ready to go.
And they understand how big of a game this is. And
I know that you guys will be excited. And, Chet mentioned this is the first time we've ever played Monroe. That's an interesting thing that of all the years we played football, we've never met this group. So you and I both separately, but we watched the entire game against Banks last week. And, we both came away with different views. I think kind of the same views. You're so much more into the offense. I probably missed a lot of that stuff. Are you expecting those guys to come out and really give us a fight Thursday night?
Yeah, as far as we can tell, they haven't gave up any this year. They've been a really hard team. And
well, this is a 9-2 Banks, 9-2 Monroe team that won 44-36, I believe it was, against Banks. They're a big group. They know how to block. They know how to run the ball. And I'm looking for us to come out and do the same things we've been doing, Luke. Come up, line up with anybody who shows up and play hard. And speaking of playing hard, I asked you this question Friday night, and I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, and I'm certainly not now. But just thinking about when you're carrying the football, and you're out there, the play is called, you line up. Do you think about the play in advance, or do you just take the handoff and just react to it? How does that work out in your mind?
sometimes I look before the play and see, if it's going to work or if it's not. You can tell sometimes before the play. But I usually just go with it and follow the linemen. They usually take us to the promised land.
Well, you said an interesting thing to me Friday night, and I thought it was great because it was totally unprompted. You said during our interview Friday that it's fun to run whenever the offensive line works, and this line does it all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's a great compliment to your offensive line, Luke. And buddy, let me tell you, we are really proud. I think you play great on both sides of the ball. The offensive production has been off the charts. I think you and I also discussed maybe you have gotten very little playing time, I think, this year in the fourth quarter.
I think Starkville's the only time I have played in the fourth quarter.
Hey, 1 out of 11, that's all right. It's good to be in that position, and we'll make up for whatever deficiencies that might produce. We'll be ready to play Thursday night, buddy. I want to thank you very much for your contributions and your dedication and commitment, man. It's fun watching you. And I also want to thank you for taking the time to come up here tonight. It's probably not the thing you want to do on a Tuesday night with a basketball game going on, but we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having us.
Folks, we're going to be right back with another segment here in just a couple minutes. Thank you.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm specials, north specials, sherry specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it. And also come to meet the Chihuahua, Moneman number 3.
Star Insurance Group of Opelika, Auburn, Montgomery, and Greenville. With all of life's demands, buying insurance is probably low on your list. Luckily, there's someone who's looking out for you and putting your needs first. A trusted friend is right around the corner. The team at Star Insurance can provide you with great protection with a personal touch. When it comes to understanding your needs, you want someone who can listen with understanding and care. You want professional advice with a personal experience? Whether it's business, farm, home, or auto, their team can help. They're not just agents, they're members of the community.
Welcome back to the Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show. We have Coach Dillon here. And just want to take a real quick second here. Sid, great segment there with Luke.
Thank you, buddy.
Talking about what a senior leadership he's done and all the great work he's done as a Rebel out there. And also want to congratulate the Lady Rebels basketball team.
Absolutely.
Just got word they defeated Edgewood. So great to start the season out with a nice big W there against the Wildcats of Edgewood. So
absolutely. Congratulations, girls.
Yep. Coach Dillon, hey, talk about a little bit about last Thursday's night's game. against Clark Prep and do a little looking forward here Thursday night against Monroe. So kind of give us your take on how the defense performed against Clark Prep on Thursday.
I thought the defense performed really, really well, minus one play. I thought we played, we had a great game plan going into it, and the guys executed the game plan. I thought there was a couple of plays to where we didn't fit the run very well, you know, especially on that long touchdown. But they were doing some things that gave us some problems defensively. We were kind of expecting them to throw the ball a little bit more, and they ran the ball for that 50-yard touchdown. That was a big play for them, and that was a little freshman that was running the ball. So he's going to be a really good player. But minus that, I thought the guys played extremely well and dominated up front.
Coach, it looked like to us from the press box, the team came out really aggressive. I mean, we're always aggressive, but if you think about some of the big hits that happened in the first two series, it really established what the night was going to be. And I think Clark Prep had the understanding that this defense is really going to hit you.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of guys a part of that team, you know, from 2 years ago that lost to them at home. And, you know, it was the same quarterback playing for them. And so, you know, we didn't take them lightly, you know, and we've kind of preached, you know, about avoiding complacency. And, it's now to the situation where it's win or go home. And the guys want to keep playing. They want an opportunity to play for another state championship really, really bad. And that meant we had to take care of business against Clark Prep last night.
Well, I thought, you know, the defense played so incredibly well. It minus that one play, it looked like to me that there was just a speed difference. There was a control difference. I mean, I think we can just control the line of scrimmage on the defensive front. And, Coach, we did not have an interception for the first game in multiple games.
We were in phase. We had opportunities to get a few of them. The pass interference call on Bryce, I thought that I didn't agree with that call at the time. And looking back on it in film, I still don't agree with it. I thought he did a really good job.
Same.
And TJ had a ball. The kid fit in a window that was not there. You know, he threw it over his head and in a bucket. That a ball that if he underthrows it, you know, by 6 inches, that's another one TJ's got. So, you know, we were in the position to make plays. They threw a couple good balls to keep it away from our guys, but we didn't give up the big play defensively. That's all we care about is, you know, we don't want to give up the big play in the passing game. Because, you know, we control the run so well. And still a team has not really just drove the ball methodically down the field against us. And it's always – any touchdowns come off of big plays.
Right.
You know, it's hard to consistently drive the ball 5, 10, 15 yards down the field against us. And
there has been no momentum from any team. Even the first game of the season, it was hard to get momentum. The defense is breaking up that pattern that any offense wants to get into. And, you know, is that something that you preach to these kids to break up the rhythm? Because if you don't, you're doing it. So. Well,
we do some things defensively that a lot of other schools don't do, and a lot of other schools across the country. You know, we do some things that are a little bit unorthodox and a little bit different, but it's very, very effective when everybody does their job. And I think to me that's what gives teams the most fits. They try to figure out what we're doing and why we're lined up, how we're lined up. But we take away a lot of what their team is trying to do just based off our alignment. You know, the way we start pre-snap. And we've done a great job of mixing in different things, whether it's bringing pressure or changing the coverage on the back end at the last second, like we'll see a lot of times. Or we'll roll down or, you know, do some different things with our secondary, and that's been really, really effective for us so far this year.
Coach, one other thing that I will just mention, you know, we saw it early. There are multiple occasions this year where we've got a team that will be in 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3, and then maybe go to a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2 and don't convert.
Yeah.
And I think that is just a killing kind of move for a defense to throw out at an offense. When you turn that ball over and it's short yardage, it really means that you're getting beat at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's a line of scrimmage game, and when it comes down to getting 3rd and short and 4th and short, our kids have a lot of heart, and that's kind of takes coaching out of the equation a little bit. When you get in those situations where the kids just play football and they get the guy on the ground before he gets there,
and it's not that mindset of, okay, they're going to get the first down, we'll start over with the first. No, it's like every single down is played hard, and I think that's why we've seen so many 4th and outs, guys that try to press us. They just aren't successful.
Yep, and when you do that, you give our offense, you put our offense in a really good situation to where we got to drive a short field.
Sure.
You may not have had any interceptions last Thursday, but you had 4 sacks.
Yeah, that was big.
That tells me that maybe you're getting to the quarterback before he can throw it.
Yep, absolutely.
And a number of pass breakups too.
Right,
there were
exactly.
a lot of breakups.
Absolutely.
So that was a nice stat to see there. 4 sacks, getting in the backfield, disrupting the quarterback. So let's stop there and look forward to Thursday night against Monroe, a team that we have never faced.
Awesome.
Over the years. And looking at their offense, we watched a little bit of the highlights from the Banks game. Very bunched offense from what I saw there. Give us your take on that.
Well, it's a wing T offense. It's the old Delaware wing T stuff. The stuff that really made this program what it is today, that offense. And we still block and run and do a lot of things based off the wing T scheme, blocking wise. And so, I think that's an advantage to us among other teams because we understand the wing T better than a lot of coaches that understand the wing T, and we understand where it can give us problems and what is key to stop defensively. And I think that gives us a really good advantage. But they got some really good players. They're 9-2, like you said, so they're a good football team. We've kind of had our eyes on this team for a while now. Jason and I have really, kind of try to peek into them a little bit when we have a spare time and try to break down what they do offensively. I think the key to their offense is their fullback. He's a really big player, not extremely fast, but very, very tough to tackle, especially when it's one-on-one. So, we're going to have our work cut up for us in that regard. They're big up front. They're physical up front. You won't see huge splits. The guys are just coming off the ball low and hard and trying to get push on our guys up front. And we're going to have to be really, really disciplined and stay low in order to control the line of scrimmage this week.
Coach, it looked like, just watching that game Friday night, it looked like Monroe came out and were just committed to me to running the ball, and they ran it from the tackle inside more, it seemed, than ever. And I was talking to Luke earlier. He said they do have a toss sweep they throw in there occasionally, but they are really a ground pounding group right up the middle with those big guys.
Yeah, they're going to try to run the ball off tackle. That's what they go to. What from their formula seems to be they want to control the ball. They want to have the ball the majority of the time. They'll nickel you with the big fullback. They're all right with 2.5. They get 2.5 yards, they're fine. That's in their recipe. So that's what we have to eliminate. We have to eliminate 2.5 plus and make them get an explosive play in order to convert downs. But they'll nickel you with the big fullback, and then they'll run the buck sweep or the counter for big plays, and it's worked. And they're effective at it, and they understand their blocking schemes really well, very similar to our blocking schemes. But like I said, I think that plays into our advantage because our kids know where the ball's supposed to be based off what the players are doing.
Well, they're managing that offense. They're playing against it. They're playing with it. So I think that's a great point. And, Coach, one other thing, just as we watch that game, they do run hard. They do break tackles, and they have that same mentality, I think, that we do, which is just to not give in. They play with the mentality that they're going to not be stopped. And I think that's a real positive for a football team that's going to try to ground it out.
Yeah, I think that them being so far away, too, is going to kind of play, for them, they don't know much about us.
Yeah.
There's an aura about us when we play schools that we play every year. Where we
Sure, I think it's excellent.
they know we're coming, and they're beat before we even get
Sure.
there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like you said, we've never played these guys before. So they're coming to win the football game because the winner of this game gets a chance to play for a state championship.
Right.
And their program, if you look back, I mean, they are a winning program, 70% winning percentage over the history of the program. So they know how to win big games. So we know that the defense is going to have to be stout and the offense ready to drive against their stout defense because they're only giving up 15 points a game. So.
Yeah, they're big guys. They're really big up front. We'll have to do a really good job and be really physical. It's going to be a physical football game. There's been there's been a different mood shift at practice. Our guys are really locked in and excited about this ball game. We like the physicality is what we like that too.
Yep.
We might just because we put up a lot of points don't mean our guys ain't physical. Our guys are extremely physical. Yep. And that's the name of the game. The most physical team wins 99% of the time.
This will be the best matchup of the year at Torbert Allen Field, competition-wise.
Absolutely.
So, folks, you got to come out and experience this Thursday night.
Absolutely.
Pack out Torbert Allen Field. Get there early, stay late, bring a friend with you, and we'll get that place rocking, right, Coach?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. Folks, we're going to take a quick break and come back with Coach Allen.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank with 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Monema number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm special, north specials, sherry specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it also can meet the Chihuahua, Monema number 3.
Star Insurance Group of Opelika, Auburn, Montgomery, and Greenville. With all of life's demands, buying insurance is probably low on your list. Luckily, there's someone who's looking out for you and putting your needs first. A trusted friend is right around the corner. The team at Star Insurance can provide you with great protection with a personal touch. When it comes to understanding your needs, you want someone who can listen with understanding and care. You want professional advice with a personal experience? Whether it's business, farm, home, or auto, their team can help. They're not just agents, they're members of the community.
Folks, welcome back here. We're ready for our next to the last segment with Coach Allen. Coach, welcome. It's great to be back here at Monte Alban and have a coach's show going on. We missed last week with the schedule change, but tell us a little bit about how the team's prep has gone this week as we get ready for this second round game.
Well, I think it's been a very good week. Our kids have really practiced well. I mean, I told the kids after practice today, I said, y'all, I've just really enjoyed this team. Our seniors have made sure that our kids are ready to practice every day. I really talked to our seniors about the finality of what's occurring in their career.
Right.
And they're experiencing a lot of things, for the last couple of times that they'll ever get to experience it, to value each day and take each day for what it is and be the best you can be and don't take it for granted. And we had a great practice today. Kids were flying around, having a good time, great effort, and just really been a fun week so far.
Well, it's really interesting, Chet. We had Luke up here, and I asked him about practice, and one of the things he said was it's been a great week of practice.
Yep.
And Coach Dillon just said that, and now you echo it. So I think we can establish that it's been a great week of practice, and we'll more than likely be ready to play Thursday night.
Yeah, you know, and I've always been a big one on relying on my seniors. I think they can feel the heartbeat of your team, and when those guys are serious and engaged and paying attention to the details, and they're giving great effort, then those other guys see it, and they just follow along. And I think that's in any organization or any successful business. When you got leaders at the top that are willing to go and do the dirty work and not just tell other people to do it, then you're going to have a successful program or whatever you do. And so I just really been pleased with that this week.
Well, Coach, we talked Friday night about the game, and it was a dominant performance on both sides of the ball by your offense and defense last week at Clark Prep. I thought your guys came out there flying all over the field. We're always aggressive. And the offense just did not skip a beat. I mean, we hit the ground running, literally running, and rushed for 600 yards.
Yeah, I thought it was a great night offensively. And, you know, just like you said, Sid, I mean, we're playing well early.
Yeah.
Playing well early. I hope that's a trend that'll continue. I think it's happened for the last 11 games. And so we're hoping so tomorrow, Thursday night at Torbert Allen.
I got a question for you. These Thursday night games, as a coach, is that a problem to get the kids ready based when you're playing Fridays nights throughout the season, regular season?
Yeah, I don't. It wasn't a problem last Thursday, Chester, and you know the kids understand that that's when we got to play. You get to play one night a week, and so we did. I thought we did a good job of moving everything up and making sure we were ready to play, and then we used Friday as what our usual Monday is this past Friday to review the film, make corrections, and get a head start. Even though we didn't know who we were going to play, we kind of got a head start and looked at Monroe because we knew a lot about Banks from having played them earlier in the year. So I'm not a huge fan of Thursday night games, but you know it is what it is, and you just kind of got to go with the flow.
Sure.
Well, Coach, we saw a lot of 2s and 3s on the field in the second half.
They're getting more playing time than our starters sometimes.
I was trying to get to the point. I'm not sure Luke has scored in the second half. He hasn't played very much in the second half after game one. And, you know, you can kind of tear that apart either way. I think there is game shape is important, you know, a duration. There's also avoiding, you know, a lot of the contact maybe that goes on, some of the sloppiness. And how do you look at it? I mean, I know you'd like to get your team on the field more.
Yeah, I definitely would. But I look at it as we're executing at a really high level. And, you know, I would love to put those guys out, but when the game's out of hand, you know, I've seen teams play guys late in games that they shouldn't have been in the game and have injuries. You know, so there's pros and cons to both. But you know, we're going to have to be ready to play a full game Thursday night.
I agree.
And if we win that one, the following Thursday. And so we just got to hope that our weight program, we've been lifting weights really hard all year with our kids because I feel like that's important. We try to get stronger as the season goes on instead of just trying to maintain what we have. And I think our kids have gotten stronger. And so we're hoping that our weight program is going to pay off for us as we get close to the end of the season.
Yeah, there are examples out there of just the strength of these running backs and offensive line and all the players out there. The stiff arms, the running over the tacklers, breaking through arm tackles. The strength of the team is very obvious out there on the field.
Yeah, well, you know, the weight room is really important in football. It's important in all sports, but, you know, a more confident athlete is a kid that's strong and explosive, and we got some kids that fit that category.
Coach, I was thinking today, you know, we talked Friday about the game and how the game got away. And look, I absolutely agree with you. The game was settled, and a lot of our games have been settled. I just think it's a little bit tough to run ones on the field when the game's out of hand. I think you do a great job of that. My question I came up with today when I was just trying to think of something fresh to ask, if you look at this team My personal opinion is this is probably one of the quickest teams I've watched play at CA ever. What do you think about that? Would you agree with that? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think our overall team speed is really good.
Yeah.
We got, we may not have that guy that's, just going to run off and leave everybody.
Right.
Although you could say Luke and Landon and
do
even
that.
Jacob, have done that at times. But, I mean, overall, our linemen can run well. Our linebackers run well. I think we got 4 running backs that run really well.
Yeah.
And our quarterback is got elite quickness to
Absolutely.
me. Elite quickness, which I think is I think quickness in the game of football is more important than straight line speed.
Well, we've seen this, and you can't help but take note of it. Landon's quickness. We see Luke do the same thing, and TJ and Jacob. And, we just see these guys come out. And Eli's the same way. Eli, they put that shoulder down a little bit quicker. But we see these guys making cuts, getting to the corner, and running. And, it's Coach, it's not just, like you say, there's not maybe a burner on this team. There's really not a slow guy either.
No, the coach from Clark Prep and I are good friends. And he told me, I told my kids, he said, the first 5 yards his offense gets for him, the next 60 he gets by himself. He said, if y'all don't tackle him before he gets to 5 yards, you can forget it.
Well, when we see guys break through the line of scrimmage and we see that control by the line, you see a lot of linebackers and secondary people struggling, really trying to struggle for position and also struggle to bring running backs down. And, it's so consistent. It's not a flukish thing. We see this week in and week out.
And I think they also have an issue with the will to tackle some of these, people coming at them. They don't want to get ran over. So that's a big piece of it as well.
Yeah, we got physical backs. And, you take a guy like TJ. I think TJ is a really good running back. But, we've been so far ahead in games, it's been hard to get him out there and say, okay, Dylan's over there. That's my starting outside linebacker. You're trying to, So
Absolutely.
we're trying to make sure that we don't get people hurt. But in a lot of other seasons, he would have gotten a lot more carries.
Sure.
To really could help our football team. It's a nice thing. But then there's the drawbacks. But I've been really pleased with the way our kids have handled that situation. Nobody has said, well, I want more carries or I want more touches. They've wanted to do what's best for our football team, and that's what makes our team special.
Well, you've mentioned that in our Friday night interviews multiple times, Coach, and I really appreciate that. It's just a simple matter of fact. One guy is going to get the big moment. That one guy is going to score. But the rest of the guys on that field have to contribute for that guy to get it. It's just a cliche-ish kind of thing, but it looks like everybody is all in on that. Nobody seems to have a problem with that at all.
Yep, and you take a kid like Jacob Norgard, you can make a case he's one of the top 2 running backs in the state.
Absolutely,
and
without a doubt.
And he's not getting the touches because of the other backs we got as well that he could get on the other teams, but I've not heard one single complaint from him, and really that's refreshing in a society that's today is all about me.
Well, I think our guys, Coach, we've spent the year, post-game interviews, and Chet and I are around the guys a lot. It's a first-class group of kids. I think they're a very special group of athletes, and I think this team has a chance to be, like we said last year, a very special team.
Yep, I agree. We just got to finish it out.
Yeah, let's finish this one more at home, and then we'll worry about everything else after that.
Yep.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for your time. Obviously,
well, I wanted to mention, I don't think people realize this, but in the 55-year history of Chambers Academy and Monroe Academy in the AISA, we've never faced each other on the gridiron.
And, I mentioned to Chet earlier, in the original team, when we played year 1 and year 2, Monroe killed everybody. Monroe was dominant. And they were dominant for a long time. So I don't know why. I guess maybe the location had something to do with it, but we never have played them, and that's really unusual.
Well, they've always been a much bigger school than us. But I know their coach really well. We crossed paths when he was working in Lee County. Mitch Tuberville, he went 10 years in a row from around 2008 to 2018 where they won at least 10 games. Wow. So that's a very proud program. It's a very I've coached against them at other schools, and they have a great program, and they're going to bring a lot of tradition and a lot of pride in here Thursday night. And I think it's important for everybody to understand that, and the opportunity and the task we have before us.
Well, we've got a good team, a very traditionally strong team, and they're going to come to play. But, Coach, you threw that little nugget out there. We have one of our own. You told me Friday night, what is it, 9 of 10 or 8 of 10 years we've won 10 games?
Yeah.
That's an outstanding number as well.
It's 9 of 10.
9 of 10 years this program has won 10 games.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. There's just no doubt about it. So, like I said Friday, congratulations. I think the athletes, the fans, the coaches, and yourself, I think that's just, it's a true statement about the standard of this program.
Yeah, we've built a great program here at Chambers, and I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of our school. I'm proud of our community and our town. I'm proud of our kids. I'm proud of everybody that has pitched in and helped make this program what it is. It's not something that was developed overnight. It's something we work really hard at, and we continue to try to make it a focal point. And really, God has blessed us, Sid. God has blessed us with great kids. He's blessed me with a great coaching staff, guys that have been with me and have not gone on other opportunities. And it's really, truly great to play at CNDA.
I'm glad the way you got that in there. It's really smooth. Folks, we're going to take a short break and come back for our final segment. Coach, congratulations on another win, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Thank you.
Craving some Mexican food? Do not think about it twice. Come visit us at Moneman number 3, located Highway 77, 1310 Highway 77, Lafayette, Alabama. We have the best Mexican food around. Cheese dip, quesadillas, farm specials, north specials, sherry specials, delicious salsa, the best salsa in Chambers County. Do not think about it, and also can meet the Chihuahua, Moneman number 3.
Farmers and Merchants Bank, established in 1934, is your friendly hometown bank. With 3 convenient locations in Dadeville, Hughley, and beautiful Lafayette, Alabama, Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve your personal and business banking needs. Great rates, great service. Farmers and Merchants is ready to serve. Give them a call at 334-864-9941. Farmers and Merchants Bank, proud supporters of Chambers Academy. Star Insurance Group of Opelika, Auburn, Montgomery, and Greenville. With all of life's demands, buying insurance is probably low on your list. Luckily, there's someone who's looking out for you and putting your needs first. A trusted friend is right around the corner. The team at Star Insurance can provide you with great protection with a personal touch. When it comes to understanding your needs, you want someone who can listen with understanding and care. You want professional advice with a personal experience? Whether it's business, farm, home, or auto, their team can help. They're not just agents, they're members of the community.
All right, folks, welcome back here to Monty Island, Chambers Academy Sports Live Coaches Show. About ready to wrap it up for the evening. Great show tonight.
Absolutely.
Great conversation there with Senior Luke Tarver and as well with Coach Dillon and Coach Jason. As always, they do a wonderful job of helping explaining the game to us.
It was so nice of Luke to, come up here on a Tuesday night. Varsity basketball's going on, and he's up here with us. So thanks to Luke, and he done an outstanding job.
Absolutely. So, folks, Thursday night, we know the assignment. Get down to Torbert Allen Field at 7 o'clock for round 2 of the playoffs as the Rebels host Monroe Volunteers. So it's going to be a wild Thursday night. So if you can't make it, catch us here on the YouTube channel. Folks, we'll see you Thursday.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, buddy.